Libra, welcome to October of 2024. Wow, it's an eclipse, guys, on your sign. Your Libra sun, moon, and risings have the eclipse of October the 2nd happening for you. So we have a big month ahead for you. We're going to dive into how it may impact you when it comes to matters to do with what you consider to be the meaning of your life, but it's also pretty impactful on your significant long-term love relationships, business partnerships as well. Welcome, welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian, and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses, fixed stars, and of course, minor asteroids. We'll be bringing a little bit of Juno, the asteroid of marriage, into your story today and business partnership. Also, I'd like to remind you that if you don't know anything about my channel, every year I do a fundraiser for my own channel, and I create enough money to buy equipment, hire some support staff, get all my stuff met that I need for the next year of recording, and that is my 2025 bundle of all signs or individual sign readings. And those readings are for 2025, and they're up to 2 hours long for each separate sign. If you want to get that content, I divide it into quarters this year, so it's chronological, unlike other years. There is a PDF guidebook that goes along with it. If you're interested in helping this channel by supporting me with that fundraiser, the content is available for the pre-sale price until October 31st, and then it goes to regular pricing. It becomes available on the market in the middle of November, but you can buy it before it shows up, and then you get a head start. And I don't put this on YouTube. This is always a private sale product, so you'll never see that long form video on YouTube. So if you want to know more about how to get that product and buy it for yourself, check the description box below. You'll see all the information you need to go ahead and do that. So let's get talking about Libra, the sky. I've got the weirdest light. It's the middle of the day. So you're going to deal with the light through my face, Libra. And that makes sense because you're getting the eclipse. October the 14th, last fall, solar eclipse on your sign. Again, October 2nd of this year. This eclipse is also embedded in a conjunction to the sun, moon, solar eclipse with Mercury embedded in the eclipse. Now, it is actually a Mercury in the heart of the sun energy on September 30th, October 1st, and then the eclipse is on the 2nd. And the best I can say is it's a south node eclipse, which is asking you to let go, release, and surrender some agreement, contract, or obligation. You're probably wondering why I'm saying obligation. Well, Libra is always, of course, your sign, one-on-one stuff. And if you're listening for your sun sign, you might be listening for matters to do with your career or your purpose. And if you're listening for your moon, your home and body. But if you're listening for your rising sign, it's truly everything that's all about you that you're listening for, like the character in the game of life. And so in that sense, you have to south node, deepen, go into a deeper spiritual place, release something holding you back from your deeper purpose in life. And I use that like that purpose matter very importantly, Libra, because Jupiter is traveling through till next year, until June, through the house of the Dharma, the meaning of your life, the real purpose of being incarnated. And so a lot of this eclipse, unlike the October eclipse, opens you up to the deepest question: what am I here for? What is my purpose? And that October eclipse on the 2nd with Mercury unfolds its wings of truth in your life over the course of 6 months to even a year later. Don't expect things to be all about October 2nd. I'll be doing a deep dive eclipse video with the asteroids and stars involved on my channel. So you might want to subscribe because you don't want to miss that one if you're a Libra, sun, moon, or rising sign. Now, the eclipse, of course, Libras is happening at 10 degrees of Libra, impacting the 0 to 10. Well, I'd say impacting the 5 Libra to 15 degree Libra people most intensely, the degree of your sun, moon, and rising. So that's true, but all Libras are feeling it nonetheless. And so it doesn't have to be just about that exactitude. It really does. This light is going to drive me nuts. let me try to fix it. Okay. Like it is there. Maybe just try to flip my blinds a little bit. That helps a bit, sort of. What else can I say for the month? How about you needing to know on a need to know basis, right? Well, Libra, you can have some prosperity coming to you with Jupiter traveling through your ninth house. So let's talk about the big picture. We're going to break the month down into general stories to do with where the planets are and traveling. And then we're going to break it down to a chronological view. And I'll be showing you the sky when we go through the weeks of the month and the dates to pay attention to. But Jupiter, the greater benefic, has been flowing to you ever since May of 24 through to June of 25 in your ninth house of God. And he likes it up there. He's like a spiritual teacher up there. But you could find yourself, Libras, in the presence of guides and gurus and teachers and mentors during the next year and into the next year. But he's in a luck house, and it's a luck and prosperity house in Indian astrology. And he can expand your luck, expand your prosperity in the course of his travels there. And he's engaged in this eclipse. And so there may be a sudden change of prosperity in your life, but it's coming through what Venus can offer you, because you are a Venus ruled being. Okay, so I just want to dive into this a little bit for you, because at the time of the eclipse, Venus will be moving through the sign of her detriment, which is Scorpio. But the good news is it's your money house. So there's a lot to be said about this eclipse opening up doors of money opportunities, your second house opportunities, money, earnings, and career matters, because she is watching out for what happens in her Libra house through the second house from your sun, moon, or rising. So going with that idea, you may experience some prosperity in your finances connected to father figures, money luck, travel, international venues, visas, passports, or academic stories. Those are all places that the ninth house can delineate. As we move through this story, we also want to notice then, what is Venus doing in general? Let's track her. She's the Lord of your sign. You want to know where she's going. She's your guiding planet. Venus on September 22nd to October 16th is moving through your second house of money. And it's not so bad, because she'll be flowing to a Mars transit in your 10th. So long story short, looks like you could be, especially in the first week or so of October, being able to lift yourself up financially. And a financial upliftment looks like it comes mostly through the work, career, and earnings story, but there's an increase here. So it could be a raise, it could be a promotion, it could be a change of job, it could be a change in the way that the work you do is done, so that increases your financial wellness. So there's money stories that get to be percolated for your benefit. And also, when it comes to your facial appearance, you may improve your facial appearance, because that's what can happen here. And if there's any way that you might want to change up or improve your dietary style, Venus here can help you with that. She could bring you pleasurable foods that are also good for your body and good for your health. And so you feel this possibility of all of that working for you, especially if you need to constrain your diet. And Venus going through this part of your chart, I'll explain why later, can help you eliminate things that are bad for your health. And you're really good at doing that September 22nd to October 16th. But then in October 17th or so, she'll move into Sagittarius. And that's a travel house. And it's possible short distance travel, weekend getaways, travel within your country can be opened up for you, that brings great pleasure between October 17th and November the 10th, or a sweetening up of the relationship with your extended family, a younger sibling, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews, or more sociable times with your neighbors and in the neighborhood. Again, October 17th to November 10th. When Venus is here as well, you might engage in beautiful writing projects that go very well as generating new creative ideas, and your social media and online presence can really be amplified successfully October 17th to November the 10th. It's a good time to put new products into the marketplace in the world of social media, and to advertise or promote something you're up to October 17th through to November the 10th. Especially because with Jupiter looking on from the house across the way, you could have some stellar amplifications of your success in the online and social media venues. Mercury, the messenger of the gods, is on the move by moving through the sign of you, Libra. That energy is available for you September the 26th to October the 12th. In essence, you are really good at talking, speaking, making new ideas that are positive and useful, signing up for new contracts or agreements and business partnerships, because Juno is there with Mercury. So Juno, the goddess of partnership in love and business, can open up those opportunities for you successfully. And you're looking to speak with a kind of clarity and harmony and balance. Your ideas are imbued with harmony, balance, etc. Anywhere from October 1st, well, September 26th to the 12th of October. Then on October the 13th through to November the 1st, Mercury is moving into your second house. There's a tight little window between October 13th and October the 16th, where you have both Venus and Mercury together in your second house of money, savings, resources, and earnings. And that is positive because with a general flow from both of them to Mars in your 10th house, positive changes in your work and career environment, especially for the Libra rising or sun, are in the sky October in a very powerful way, October 13th to the 16th. But nonetheless, we still have Mercury all the way through to November 1st. So October 13th to November 1st, Mercury in your money and earnings house is really good for selling, marketing, selling possessions, marketing something in your business or work structures, speaking publicly and getting your voice behind a microphone or being on a podcast or something. That's a house of speech, and Mercury is the guy with the mouth that talks and gives the messages. You also might find with Mercury moving through your second house, there may be a lot of communication with some of the members of your family that you grew up with, more phone calls or text messages or communications ongoing during that time. And finally, Mercury moving through your second house can possibly, as the ruler of your 12th house, bring you into lots of discussions or communications around the possibility of generating revenue from far off foreign shores, international revenue, or working for international companies. Your ability to be digitally entrepreneurial gets very increased during this transit, for example, between October 13th and November the 4th. It's also really good for coming up with new ideas to decrease your harm to your health from substances that are addictive to you, and maybe finding new ideas about how to let go of those addictive substances. Okay. Mars, the god of change, the god of motivation and will, and the god of decisions and cutting and severing and action, is moving through your 10th house. This is a very big story because he's here for 6 months, more or less. He's going to be here all through the month of October. And that's because he arrived in your 10th house on September 4th and doesn't leave until like November 4th, but then comes back again January 6th to April the 18th. So you got a lot of Martian energy in the 10th house. To boil it down to the simplicity, you're working really hard. You're passionate, you're driven, and you're super focused in the house of career and reputation. You are making it happen. But you could also quit a job, or someone in the job place can quit, because that's what Mars does. He cuts, ends, and severs, and you may quit something. Think winners and losers when you think of Mars, and losers and quitting go together for some people, but sometimes quitting is winning. So if you have to quit a job or a job quits you, do not worry. It will work out in the long run. Jupiter is flowing to you from the 9th house, protecting you in many ways from things that Mars could give you challenges with. Now, during the month of October, when Mars is up there, especially during the month of October, because of the eclipse, so Mars squares the eclipse, there may be some dramatic and shocking changes and unexpected changes that begin to appear in October about your work. And it may be unexpectedly that you're going to dramatically change your job, or your job's going to dramatically change you. Okay. So let me know how that goes. And you'll know if that's true during the month of October for sure. Now, and because he's going to retrograde backwards and go into Leo, your 11th house of great gains, there's a possibility that where this all leads is to a change in the way you make the money, exactly the way you do it. Say you're working for the same company, you might have a new role in the company. It makes you money in a brand new way, a completely different way. For example, Jupiter will go retrograde on October the 9th from your 9th house. And that's going to bring back teachers, guides, mentors, professors, spiritual teachers from the past between October 9th and February of next year. So you're going backwards in time. Legal matters that were unresolved and court cases can come back from the past. Gains from an inheritance or spousal separation have to be readdressed based on things from the past. All of that is in play for you during the time of the Jupiter retrograde. But he is still going to be in your ninth house, which is fundamentally good for you until June 9th of next year. And then Pluto will move direct on October the 11th. Pluto, who has been retrograding into Capricorn, back ending there since September the 1st, he now goes direct on October the 11th and gives you the last gasp of rewards and lessons from things that you've been learning from Pluto in your fourth house since 2008. And that's about death and transformation. Phoenix rising from the ashes, deep discoveries and revelations and secrets being revealed around family of origin, mom and dad, the childhood narratives. But also some of you will have received inheritance monies or legacy wealth from family members with whom you grew up during Pluto's transit through your fourth house. And now that he's finished up here and he's moving direct October 11th to November 19th, he's giving you the final reward for all of that transformation. And because he's talking to Uranus on Algol in the eighth house, some of it is chunky money and some of it looks inheritance-y. All righty? That's for all of you, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Now we're going to go ahead and break the sky down, and I'm going to show you a picture of the sky, and we're going to point to it. I'm going to scribble all over it, and we're going to go through the sky itty bitty bits at a time. And what we're doing, as I screenshot that for you, go away, other picture. It'll do, is we're going to talk about it. Now, I'm breaking it down into week by week, and it's chronological, right? So this is where you might want to get a pen and paper or just come back to this video in the future so that you can reference what to pay attention to in the order you should pay attention to it during the year of 2024, October. And I'm going to share it, and we're going to go into it together. So, oops, well, that's Sag, so I won't do that one. Sorry about that, guys. Am I still recording? Yes, thank God. I know I have it here. I know I have it here. There we go. Nope. Okay, I'm having a day. One more try, one more try. I know it's here. You know, I know it's here and I can't see it. Why? You know, I'm having tech issues all day long. I really am. Let me cut out of that screen. And sorry, I was sort of breathing down your neck here. And let me find out where it went. Oh, I found it. That's me being frustrated. Found you guys. Let's share it. Got it. Hallelujah. Okay, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising folk. Let's talk about your sky. No, that's not it. I cannot believe the tech issues I'm having on this video series. Just because I want you guys to see what I'm doing, I keep trying to give the big version. There we are. Gee. And here it is. So let's talk about the screenshot. Beginning in October, I mentioned the eclipse is happening in your first house, and I can't change that up. It's happening here. There's Juno, the asteroid for partnership, agreements, vows. And you're looking at during the time of October, and by the way, also back in September, at your primary long-term love relationship and business partnerships through the lens of should I stay or should I go? Is this ready for a commitment that deepens or one that breaks apart? For Juno can rule both the energies of divorce and marriage. Okay, both of those. So that's fine. But you might notice you've got a chironic wound here. And so when this eclipse happens in the beginning of October, it's also going to activate a longer-term chironic wound around committed long-term business and love partnerships, or even around how the audience and marketplace that you serve in your career path is somehow wounded for you. It's just not going right in the right way. You have to learn some lessons here. So keep that in mind. And then we're going to notice that during the eclipse of October 2nd, we see that at the same time, we have a Mars trine Saturn. Saturn is the work and health house. right? That's not a bad placement for Saturn. You're working hard until 2026 February. You might be grinding to achieve what you want as service, work, employment, and work goals. And it will be Mars here who says to Saturn, let's make the decisions necessary. Do we need to quit a job? Do we need to change our job? Do we need to act in a certain way and make plans in a certain way and take actions and decisions in our job and work that give us long-term stability for all of our hard work, that measure up to what we want to create as legacy value in the work we do in this world? Or do you need to quit your job for better health reasons? All of these are possible during the time of the beginning of the week, the first week of October. And then as well as we move forward a little bit, Venus gets in on the mix, and she also trines Saturn, and she's doing that around the 4th and 5th of October. And we end up with this beautiful grand trine. And a grand trine opens up the opportunity for luck and blessings, because it's the nature of Jupiter, in the house of your earnings and money and resources, work and career. So you're looking at the first week of October blessing you with opportunity with work, career, and finances. It's that simple. And also maybe changes in work and dietary style that improve your health, that go in easy flowing and lucky ways. Anything. Boss says work from home and you say, yes, it makes me better. I feel healthier. Boss says, let me move to an office with some air and some sunlight. And thank God, I feel more healthy. That kind of thing. We can see that also October the 4th or so and 5th, we see Mercury squaring Mars. Mercury squaring Mars is really about some difficult, challenging decisions or news, but because Mercury's in the house of you are the one with the announcements, you are the one sending out the emails, and it has to do with work. Your resignation letter, an idea that you need to put into the workplace, and you've got confrontation from a colleague or a boss. These are the ways it feels maybe October the 3rd, 4th, and 5th with that Mercury square Mars energy. But don't forget the backdrop of the water trine still lends great developments that are supportive. Libras don't like difficult conversations, and Mars is confrontational and emotional. And an emotional conversation or confrontational conversation may be occurring particularly close in this chart to October the 4th. October the 7th to the 9th, Venus trines Mars, and that is what that grand trine is. But while that's happening, Mercury is also trining Jupiter. So while you had to have that hard conversation, Mars with a boss, colleague, coworker, you also have some really beautiful energy in which you are making decisions or communicating things and having ideas regarding publications, book publishing, podcasts, higher court academic outcomes, communications from your judge or lawyer. You won the court case, judgments in your favor from legal systems coming through the sky, perhaps around October 7th to the 9th. And you're able to communicate things to ninth house people, spiritual community, teachers, or therapists even, or guides, that go in very positive ways during that 7th to the 9th time frame of October. October 13th to the 14th, the sun is trining Jupiter, just as Mercury also trined Jupiter. So first Mercury, October 7th and 9th, and then the sun, October 13th and 14th. So there's a lot going on with this Jupiter. He's not like without merit here. He's doing something important for you. What is he doing? That's what I like to know. Because this is the house of chunky money, particularly inheritances, right? But also money you share with a spouse, right? It's second from the 7th house. Then second from the 8th house, right? Is also connected. It's once that shared resource money is known and realized, then Jupiter is what greater gains come from it. So I could say something along the lines of where you might find the energy taking you October 13th and 14th is to the acknowledgement of the gains that allow you to go back to school, that allow you to travel internationally, that allow you to get a job or work situation in another country, allow for these openings to happen and be available to you October 13th and 14th. But with the sun at the same time arguing with Mars, it's like you have a conflict of interest between work and distance travel. publications and book publishing in higher academic settings and teaching and work obligations and stressors. There's two stories intersecting each other. Mercury will square Pluto. Ooh, Mercury will end up here around the 13th and 14th at the end of Libra, squaring Pluto in your fourth house. Again, you're Mercury, so you're having the difficult conversations around land, home, property, real estate, and inheritances, and you're learning lessons about what you've been doing with that Pluto power from home base. You may be telling the family secrets, as well as you may also be communicating with mom or dad or people from your childhood or family of origin, profound, revealing excavation types conversations going deep below the surface. And again, October 13th and 14th. October 14th and 15th, Venus gets in on the act, and she's doing only the most amazing things. A very exciting time for Venus. So what does she offer for you? So Venus will end up coming into an opposition from the very last degree of your second house of money and earnings and resources and face and diet, opposite Uranus in a money house. It's a money story. A shocking, surprising development in your finances. Uranus is a wealth star on a wealth star called Algol, but also off with her head. Because Venus is in detriment, it could look a little bit bumpy here. Where might you find some kind of downdraft of some sort connected to money, connected to career? You thought you were going to get a severance package. They ditch it on you. It could be bumpy. Be careful around investments as well. You might find yourself in the possession of an investment that loses money. But if it's nothing like that, which it doesn't have to be, we're talking again about October 14th and 15th, I find that the sextile to Neptune could open up work opportunities called dream job, dream career opportunity, Artha house. Saturn says, I want to be hardworking and realistic in my work. And Neptune says, where's the dream vision part of the story? And then all of a sudden you see this wedge in the sky. Yeah, it's a wedge, October 14th and 15th. The tension of the money surprise, the chunky money surprise, the earnings surprise, leads to some positive developments of sort of like dream come true regarding work opportunities. The only other thing I could say is a surprising development regarding health matters, okay? From something that you didn't see coming, and it connects to what you eat. Suddenly you learn all the reason you're sick is you've been eating legumes, and now you realize you can't. You take them out. Autoimmune people like me, we can't eat beans, right? Because it inflames almost every autoimmune condition there is. So keep that in mind. So, well, there you go. With Mars at the top of the sky, again, we're seeing changes in your work environment. And this is also about your money. So money and work changes that may surprise you. They do not have to be bad. There is a mutual reception going on between Venus and Mars in houses 10 and 2. So again, it could be sudden shocking changes in how much money you're going to make in your job, or a sign-on bonus or severance package if you're looking for a job or quitting a job that is surprisingly successful for you. October the 17th, Venus will sextile Pluto. That means that Pluto here becomes acquainted with Venus at the very end of Scorpio when she moves that far along. It's about the love of power, the power of love. It's about depth. It's about intimacy. It's about riches. And it comes from a money and earnings house down to the fourth house. You might want to spend money on a very expensive object or receive money from an inheritance that allows you to become more wealthy. You might want to speak. The Venus is in the house of speech about deeper secrets from your family of origin to the members of your family of origin, to the people who are, from your childhood, your family. Because because Pluto is in the house of property, land, and real estate. And Venus is the house of possessions. There's a possibility you may be able to suddenly possess a very beautiful or wealthy home. And the money came in a sudden spurt and you see the light. And that could be an upside of this Venus sextile to Pluto on October the 17th or so, 16th, 17th. And also on October the 22nd, Mercury trines Saturn. And this is kind of just a bit after that. And Mercury here is going to flow, Mercury having moved into Scorpio. Mercury has moved into Scorpio and flows to Saturn. Good news, about money, good news about health, good news about pets, good news about rental situations and rental properties. All of this looks like a good news time frame for you around the time of October 22nd. Also with Mercury here, you could sell something to do with property or office stories, like all your office furniture, or sell your possessions that you have. You could sell a home. That's all possible. But it's also really good for finding good new rental opportunities for rental properties for business or residential applications, or if you're a landlord renting out a property, and a great success at it. Again, October 22nd to or so, just around October 22nd. October the 23rd to the 30th is a glorious sky that opens up nothing but sweetness. How sweet it is. It is kind and it is friendly. Let's talk about what the end of the month looks like. The end of the month opens up Mars here, sextiling Uranus and trining Neptune, which makes it a mini grand trine. I know. Mars is in detriment. Still, it is the aspectual positivity we're pointing to. It's possible that you may have some really beautiful developments that are about your work and your job and your office and your daily work and your daily work habits and routines changing in a positive new direction because of surprising financial situations that increase your way of being more healthy and more in a positive dream come true environment with colleagues and coworkers connected to work. And because we end up at the same time having Mercury opposite Uranus from here, Mercury will be down here, we end up with a big arrow in the sky, a big cartoon arrow. Isn't that cool? Like that. Well, all roads lead to your chunky money 8th house. Insurance payouts, tax refunds, releasement of credit card debts, refinancing the mortgage, getting a mortgage. Mercury is negotiating from a money house. And if you want to buy a house, sell a house, rent a new house, refinance your card debt, find some chunks of money happening in flowing beautiful ways, especially as it connects to real estate, land, and property matters. This looks good, October 23rd to the 30th. This is where things really begin to gel. And certainly Mercury flowing to Mars, that's also about your career and your momentum in your career connected to your financial resources in a positive way. I hope that's helpful. There's a lot going on, and I'm trying to give you the lay of the land, Libra. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It does help me thrive. And if you want to check out my the class does start on the 28th if you catch this of September. Check the description box for descriptions of my Sky Reader class. Check out my All Signs 2025 bundle pre-sale, or buy your sign pre-sale. You don't get it right away. You buy it now until October 31st. The pre-sale price is available and it's delivered to you probably by mid-November. And then this is never on my YouTube channel. As I said in the beginning, it's only for sale as a fundraiser. All right. You want 2 hours of dedicated time to your sign for 2025 with a guidebook and chronologically set out in each quarter, each 3-month period. And then that's going to be the product for you. Thanks, guys.